Miller will shoot first. The 33-year-old pro from Seattle who's won 4 tournaments, and his partner from Freehold, New Jersey, Parker Bohn III, 3 titles to his credit. Leaving a 7-pin.
Quickly bringing in Pete Weber. Pete, no real power players in the championship field this week. 10 players and yet no big crankers. What's the story?
I think the heads had a lot to do with it this week. The heads they're real bouncy. Sometimes the ball bounces out on the lane and it'll go in the direction in which you throw it. And it wasn't very good for the big hook ball players this week.
The heads, obviously, the first 7 feet of the lane, those lay-down area.
Relatively straight for the 7-pin, Hugh Miller. Curtis Odom and his partner Adam Colton upset Mats Carlson and Scott Devers 205 to 200. And here is Odom.
Curtis Odom, a nice control player, mixes accuracy and power. Short backswing, good wrist action.
Coming up high, 3-6-10 for Odom. Pete, with you here a week from today, the seniors. We look forward to it. Of course, another generation. Hall of Famer, your dad, Dick Weber, will be competing.
Yeah, he's been practicing more in the last week and a half than he has, I think, the whole year.
The old pride's coming out in
yeah, I think he's ready to win again.
Earl Anthony will be here. 280 seniors.
Should be very popular. Next Saturday on ABC. Now Odom, the 3-6-10.
Well done. There for both teams.
Adam Colton, who came through in the last 3 frames, his last 3 attempts, the 6th, 8th, and 10th frame on the left-hand lane, should feel much better, much more relaxed, and this team could get cooking right here if Colton can stay around the pocket. Odom knows how to win.
High hit, 4, 6, 7, 10.
Not much you can do about that, as Curtis Odom doesn't like that either. All that he can do is hopefully get the ball over in the 6-10 zone and maybe slide one of the pins over there and rattle the 4 into the 7, but a very difficult shot. Basically just go for the 2.
A 16-pin lead for Parker Bohn III, who is wearing a wireless microphone, as you see there, on his chest. His partner, Hugh Miller.
Hugh Miller, Parker Bohn's partner, one of the really top condition players out here, has run a marathon and still jogs 6 to 8 miles a day. And obviously it shows up on the bowling lanes as he is well conditioned and can go the distance.
It's the double. 2 left-handers on the team. It's all right-handers in our championship match. At least the opponents will be Steve Wunderlich and David Ozio.
Curtis got a lot of his experience on the PBA Regional Tour and at Winston-Salem College, where he bowled for a couple of years in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Well, that was a relief after an open frame by this doubles pair.
Well, you see right there, Odom picked up his speed. He was kind of tentative in the first frame. And once again, Colton had that same problem in the early going. There's a man with vested interest in the result of this man's ball. They need a double to cut the lead down to 16 pins.
7 pin. Losers of this match will receive $10,000.
What a bad break. Watch the action of the 4 pin, the 2nd pin on the left-hand part of your screen. The 2 drives the 4 straight back. Normally the 4 would take out the 7. Very unlucky break in the 4th frame.
We're in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is a big part of Clark County. As we mentioned earlier, the size of the state of Massachusetts. And gaming machines, thousands of them. Fun,
Draft 200 live tomorrow on ABC Sports.
Just a week ago, Ari Landijk won the Indianapolis 500. He'll be going against pole sitter Rick Mears, Emerson Fittipaldi, and all the others in the Miller event, the Miller Genuine Draft Tournament. As Parker Bohn cheers that shot on. He's been perfect up to this point. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris. The tournament leaders, you guys have always bowled well together. David Ozio, Stephen Wonderlich. What is the catalyst that makes your team so good, and what'd you do so well this week?
Well, I believe that we gel well together. We help each other with our games. More importantly, help each other line up. And when one guy's faltering a little bit, the other guy helps pick the other guy up. You know, and that's the key issue there. It's more mental than physical. So this week, I happened to have a little bit better shot than Steve, and took advantage of it. And he just stuck with it and hung in there more mentally than anything. And I'll tell you what, that's very demanding.
What about you, Steve?
Well, I had a great horse this week, and I had Secretariat all the way to the finish line, and we snuck in by a head. So I think we're going to do it again today.
All right, back to you, Chris.
All right. Hugh Miller and his partner, Parker Bohn, have different ideas, and so do Curtis Odom and Adam Colton. It's our third game of the afternoon. If you just joined us in the first, Larry Lobb and Bobby Kneppel were defeated by Scott Devers, Mats Carlson 235 to 171. And then Odom and Colton upset Devers and Carlton 205 to 200. Here's Odom. Your request was granted. Be there.
Pete Weber, the team is trailing. What would you say to your partner as we see Curtis Odom just ripping the 5 out, just driving it over the 7 and reacting very boldly to that strike? What would you say to your partner? You're trailing by 35, strike up, 6 frame. What do you say?
Well, I just have to say stuff him. Throw the best ball you can and stuff him.
He threw a pretty good ball in the 4th frame, got the solid 7, and right now he needs another strike to keep it close.
And he's faced now with the 310.
Well, as Pete Weber just said, he tried to stuff it, but he was a little bit soft with the speed, drifted high. Has left a fairly easy split to make, the 310. Get the ball over by the 3-pin, let the ball deflect into the 10. Very simply, the ball does most of the work. Big trouble for this team right now as they open in the 6th frame. They trail by 47 pins. Parker Bohn the third, who has made the championship round, qualified second 4 consecutive tournaments here at the Showboat. In the singles last year, he qualified second. The doubles, the singles again this year, and once again today, and he has not had a victory.
Parker Bohn and his wife Mary.
Hugh Miller actually got into this tournament with a very good break. Dwayne Fisher, who was the partner of Parker Bohn's last year, got appendicitis and couldn't bowl. Now you see the position of Miller starting in the center. He'll slide right about here, play the ball right over the 2nd arrow.
Carry. And Hugh Miller, who was going to landscape his new home in Seattle. Well, he can pay for the landscaping now by staying here and going with the man you're looking at, Parker Bohn, third.
Pick it up.
Once again, Miller getting in because of Dwayne Fisher, who had 9 strikes in a row last year as Parker Bohn's partner. They finished second, came down with appendicitis. Hugh Miller, free ride, has a chance to win a title.
Okay, we're at the Showboat in Las Vegas for the PBA Doubles Classic.
Review today's scores very briefly here. 86, 94.
Yes, excellence by the seniors. That's a week from today right here. Very same bowling establishment, Showboat. So don't forget to join us regular time. 3 Eastern, 2 Central, 3 Pacific. Spring Tour.
Curtis Odom with the full grip. Just sticks his fingers into the first knuckle, holds that ball down the low position, which I really recommend. Keeps the swing in line and is in a must situation. 7th frame.
He liked it. And he needed it.
Good swing, inside out, really good lift, aggressive shot, drives all 10 pins in the pit. And this is where this team started picking up last match. They were trailing Carlson and Devers by about 35 pins at this point, strung together 4 strikes to win the match. Right now they need to do the same thing to get back into contention.
And Adam Colton had his problems today, but also has had his glory, helping to win the previous match. Leaves at 3-6.
The two left-handers talking over how they're going to probably play the championship match.
Okay, Parker Bohn is up. He learned about charity from his mother, Jean, when he was about 12 years old, and he was very much involved with the Seattle Charity Pro-Am 2 weeks ago, helping generate approximately $25,000. $25,000 for kids bowling for kids' sake, giving them an opportunity for a camp environment. He'd like to be at the camp now instead of faced here with the terrible shot he has coming up, 4-6-10.
Well, there's no charity in this match, but Parker Bohn's opened the door. He's going to try to get the 6-10 and bounce one of them over into the 4, but has to make sure the 2 pins extra speed.
Parker Bohn, who at that same bowling establishment met his wife, Mary, Skyway Park Bowl, where we were 2 weeks ago. Now from Seattle, that same wonderful city, Hugh Miller. We've seen so many head shakes leaving the line when they return.
Well, I think a couple of things, Chris. The lane condition's very demanding. The oil is 41 feet down the lane, as we showed at the top of the telecast, but it's also equal gutter to gutter. There's no hold spot, and there's no rhythm out here. The players, remember, only bowling 5 frames. It's a lot different when you're bowling 5 compared to 10, and you just don't really get that momentum going.
Come on. All right.
Pete Weber right now, 9th frame, Curtis Odom in a mutt situation. Let's pretend you are Adam Colton sitting on the bench. Hopefully your partner will strike here and give you a chance. And what would you be thinking about?
Well, I'd be thinking, well, I've gone high on the lane 4 shots, so I definitely have to move left a little bit and try and play the same area, but with my feet a little farther left.
I don't think your partner, if it had been Curtis Odom, is going to give you a chance to even make that adjustment, as he leaves a wide open split, the 4, 6, 7, and the only thing Curtis can do is hopefully get the ball over in the 4-7 zone and bounce one of the pins over into the 6. If he doesn't make this, it's just about all over.
Almost me.
All out effort.
Adam Colton will finish out the match. The best this team can do is 168. He'll still make that adjustment that Pete Weber was talking about, moving a little farther left on the approach. And not far enough. As once again we see another big split. These players are going to be in the 140s as they've had 1, 2, 3, 4 wide open splits.
But they'll be able to split $10,000 for their efforts today, and that includes a big victory over Devers and Carlson, 205-200. So not all for naught. ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Spring Tour will be back after these messages and a word from our local ABC stations.